that they don't necessarily have a future on the island, and instead they're coming through Mexico. They're trying to get to Mexico and from there to the United States.
Really interesting reporting. Thank you so much for bringing it to us. Will Grant there. Well, in other news, the suspect arrested in Philadelphia in one of a series of mass shootings across the country over the 4th of July weekend was arraigned in court on Wednesday on 5 murder counts and 4 counts of attempted murder and is being held without bail. The shooter has been identified as 40-year-old Kim Brady Carricker. The Dutch government has announced that mobile phones are set to be banned from classrooms at the start of next year. The initiative is a bid to stop the devices interrupting learning. There will be some exemptions, including for students with medical needs or a disability and for classes focused on digital skills. Britain, Canada, Sweden and Ukraine have started proceedings at the International Court of Justice against Iran. They are seeking damages for the families of passengers killed when an Iranian Revolutionary Guard missile battery shot down a Ukrainian airliner moments after it took off from Tehran in January 2020. All 176 people on board died. American actor Alison Mack has been released from prison early after serving 2 out of the 3 years for her role in a sex trafficking case tied to a cult. Now, the 40-year-old pleaded guilty to racketeering and conspiracy charges in 2020 related to her efforts to recruit women to the NXIVM sex cult. Mack is best known for her role in the television series Smallville. Now, Britain's King Charles has been presented with the Scottish Crown Jewels as part of a ceremony to celebrate his. The event was loaded with history and symbolism as supporters and detractors made their feelings known on the streets of Edinburgh. The BBC's James Cook reports.
For Charles and Camilla, the journey is only just beginning. For 500 years, monarchs have paraded up the Royal Mile. In 1953, Queen Elizabeth toured Edinburgh in an open carriage. But her son inherits a kingdom divided, as he could surely hear on arriving at St Giles Cathedral. But inside, tranquility reigned, in English, in Scots, and in Gaelic.
Blessed be pure men in spirit, for the kingdom of heaven is theirs. Blessed be mild men, for they shall well the earth.
In other words, the meek shall inherit the earth.
By the symbol of this sceptre.
And then came the heart of the ceremony, the presentation of Scotland's crown jewels.
In receiving this sceptre, I so promise by God's help.
Last autumn, this golden crown, first worn in 1540 by James V of Scotland, lay on top of Queen Elizabeth's coffin in this very church. Now it was offered to her son and heir, the King.
By the symbol of this crown, we pledge our loyalty, in trusting that you reign as our King in the service of all your people.
In receiving this crown, I so promise by God's help.
And then, one final flourish.
The Stone of Destiny, Un Lia Fahal, is an ancient symbol of Scottish sovereignty.
There were more cheers and jeers as the King left St Giles to return to the Palace of Holyrood House for one final treat. The red arrows trailing not just the blue of Scotland's saltire, but all the colours of the Union flag. James Cook, BBC News, Edinburgh.
Now, Wednesday's Wimbledon matches delivered excitement with Novak Djokovic winning his 350th career Grand Slam match. But protesters also grabbed some attention, as Chetan Pathak reports.
Wednesday at Wimbledon saw more rain interruptions and also disruption caused by protesters. Two separate Just Stop Oil protests took place on Court 18 as environmental activists took to the court throwing confetti and jigsaw puzzle pieces. Both those protests caused brief delays with 3 people arrested. In terms of tennis itself, Novak Djokovic, the overwhelming favourite for Roger Federer, equalling 8th men's singles title, saw Australia's Jordan Thompson in straight sets. There was also a comfortable win for the women's world number 1 Iga Swiatek, who beat Sara Sorribes Tormo as she looks to win her first Wimbledon title. And the match of the day arguably involved Stefanos Tsitsipas, who beat Dominic Thiem, a former US Open champion, in a final set tiebreak. It's Andy Murray, a former 2-time champion here, that awaits Tsitsipas in the second round on Thursday.
And before we go, if you haven't seen the new main attraction in Las Vegas, well, it's worth a look. This is called Sphere. Its creators say it is the world's largest spherical structure. They put on a show to mark the July 4th celebrations using the Sphere's 580,000 square feet of LED lights to stand out from the Vegas skyline. That's 54,000 square meters. Now, the venue itself can host 17,000 seated spectators with a further 20,000 people standing. It is due to open in September, but is already grabbing attention in a city already known for eye-popping visuals. Remember, you can always find more on the day's news on our website, plus you can check us out and our work anytime by heading to Twitter. I'm Helena Humphrey. Thank you for watching World News America.
Your dinner party was a hit. Your dishwasher took a hit. Your teen is giving laundry a try. Your dryer left you hung out to dry. Date night with the crush. Your toilet won't flush. Luckily, American Home Shield is there to fix or replace covered appliances and home systems to help you stay on course and budget. Protect what you don't expect. Visit ahs.com and get a free quote today.
We're Carvana. We've created a brand new way for you to sell your car. Go to Carvana, answer a few questions, and our techno wizardry calculates your car's value and gives you a real offer in seconds. We'll come to you, pay you on the spot, then pick up your car. That's it. At Carvana.
I want to talk to you about the politics of this. Did she not think she was going to get that question?
It's important to remember that this is a negotiation.
It's a good photo of.
I have an opportunity to create chaos.
There is always an email. We are so insignificant in this cosmos. Do you want some facts on baguettes? I'm just feeding you the stories. Maybe this is the context.
News in depth. The Context with Christian Fraser on BBC News.
There's so many people who still have that stigma of going to a physical office or a location to see a therapist.
BetterHelp takes the stigma out of getting counseling skills or seeking help for people.
Beaches, Rhythm and Blues, Caribbean Seal, now on. Visit beaches.com.
You a raver?
Do I look like a raver?
I've got bass in a backpack. This is amazing.
Dancing for like 4 or 5 hours of a gig, you could generate about 800 kilowatt hours of thermal energy.
Right, shall we give it a taste then? It's my favourite.
We're really talking to the plants and they're telling us how happy they are.
It can fly, but it can also float on water.
Oh my God, that came by quick. It's all about augmented reality.
Beautiful, right? Beautiful.
Totally and utterly immersed in another world there.
Your Tech Update. Click on BBC News.
The days of museums as grand, intimidating places are long gone.
Ah, this is something else.
Today they're much more dynamic and inclusive. And that radical change is what I want to celebrate and explore.
I think that's rather wonderful.
I like it.
Join me, Alistair Sook, for Inside Museums on BBC News.
Stories of success, stories of failure, stories of strength.